All right, so while we wait for the cure to, sort of do its thing, I've heard rumors that something's going on in Rate, and since we're already here, I thought I'd talk to Hanush and see what this is all about.
Henry, just the man I want to see. I need help with something.
What's the problem, sir?
The Archbishop's vicar has come to Uzhitz. I don't know why exactly, but the rumor is that he's on the hunt for heretics, which frankly never meant any good, especially for me.
I'm sorry, but I'm not really up on religious ranks, sir. What does a vicar do, exactly?
You don't have to apologize. It's the devil's own work to make sense of their twisted hierarchy. The vicar is short for vicarious, meaning in place of. He has full power to act on his superior's behalf.
I see.
In this case, sadly, the superior in question is that nincompoop, Archbishop Zbigniew Hare of Hassenburg.
Are you at odds with the Archbishop in some way, sir?
No, I've never even seen him. But that's no guarantee he doesn't have his eye on my estate.
But how could he get his hands on it?
He's an archbishop. They have long fingers, my boy. And now, without the king around, it's the perfect time to amass a nice little hoard. Believe me, I know. They say in Prague that he's a complete dolt. But I rather doubt that.
Why?
All the Hare clan are as shrewd as they come. I know that better than most.
Uh-huh. What should I do about him, then?
Firstly, find out why he's really here. He might truly be on the hunt for heretics, which wouldn't be good news. Or it's equally possible he's here to size up my estate, which would be even worse.
I understand. And then what?
The best thing for me and all concerned would be for him to pack his bags and go back to Prague.
And how can I, encourage him to do that? I can't just kick him out, can I?
No, of course not. But if you can make him believe there's nothing to find here, he'll be off in no time. So tell him I've sent you to assist him.
I understand. And my task is to assist him in finding nothing.
Indeed.
And what if there really are heretics?
My boy, my boy. Have you ever seen a heretic?
No.
There, you see. I haven't either. Most of the time, the prelates just invent them to scare folk with. So don't put much faith in their existence.
But
what if there really are some? Then deal with them. But make sure that interfering bastard gets out of here.
very well. I'll get going straight away.
Good luck, lad. And be careful. Clergymen are wily weasels. So take care.
I'll be careful. Don't worry, Sir Hanush.
All right, here we are in Uzhitz. Let's head to the church. And the vicar, or vicar, should be here somewhere. Now, I've always said it vicar, but they're saying it vicar. But the word derives from the word vicarious. So, unless you're saying it vicarious, vicar makes more sense to me. But it's one of those words where I've heard it pronounced both ways and it doesn't seem like it's a big deal. Granted, even though I've addressed that in this video, somebody's going to hear me saying it one way and probably be like, you're saying vicar wrong in the comments. But anyways, I'm probably going to use them interchangeably. Let's see if he is here. What are you guys doing? There's somebody standing inside you. There we go.
What do you want here, lad?
God save, Monsignor. My name's Henry, and I've been sent by Sir Hanush of Lipa.
Sir Hanush, And why is he sending you?
I'm to assist you in your search.
Oh, I see. How considerate of him. Well, you've come at the right time. I need someone who'll go unnoticed among the locals. I'm sure Sir Hanush told you what I'm doing here.
He said you're looking for heretics?
Exactly. I'm seeking out the sores that inflict the body of the church. The rash of heretics. Waldensians. Dangerous heretics, one and all.
Who are these Waldensians? I've never heard of them.
Really? then you've either not been paying attention in church, or the parish priest in Ratai is too idle to read out the bishop's missive to the congregation. Both possibilities are equally disturbing, but I'll allow you the benefit of the doubt and assume it's the latter. But to answer your question, it's a heretical sect.
I gathered that much, but what form does the heresy take?
Look, boy, I don't have time right now to embark on theological disputation. Besides which, it's not something you need concern yourself with. Suffice it to say, they are heretics.
Very well, Monsignor. How did you conclude there are heretics here?
We caught one in Gutenberg. He confessed to everything, including meeting up with others in Uzhitz a few times.
And that was all he told you?
By the end, all his strength had left him, so he couldn't even put together a list.
I'm guessing he didn't speak willingly?
Of course not.
Little wonder his strength deserted him in the executioner's clutches. It's a pity. He might have known more.
My lad, guard your tongue. It's unwise to question the ways of Mother Church. Heretics are a canker on the body of the Church. Do you know what's to be done with such an ulcer? You take the hot iron to it and burn it out. It may hurt. It hurt me too, to have to cause the man to suffer. But it had to be done for the well-being of the Church.
Are there any suspects?
Everyone is a suspect. You can be sure of that. But I'll know more after I finish the interrogations.
Well, I'm not from Uzhitz exactly, so I don't know how well they'll accept me.
That's good, because the last thing I need is one of these local good-for-nothings. I can't trust a single one of them. And they don't trust me either, but you're an ordinary lad with a likable face, if a bit simple-looking. You'll have a much better chance of learning their secrets.
You flatter me, Monsignor. How can I help you then?
Excellent. Let's get right to the point, Henry. I know how to get to where the heretics congregate.
And what's stopping you from going there, sir?
That is to say, I know in theory. The crux of the matter is this. We caught a heretic in Gutenberg who told us of the heretics in Uzhitz. Regrettably, by the time he got around to describing their meeting place, he was already raving and hardly coherent.
I see. So do you know where they meet up, or don't you?
Possibly. His account was confused, to say the least. I have a record somewhere here. Can you read, boy?
Naturally, Father. Otherwise Sir Hanush wouldn't have sent me.
I see. It's a good thing at least the servants of the nobility are getting a suitable education. Some of their own offspring can hardly write their own names. Here's the record of the interrogation. From what I can make out, his description of the route starts at the local tavern. Once you've found something out, come back and see me.
I'll do my best, Father.
Right, well, he's a pleasant fellow. Let's go find somewhere to sit and take a look at this transcript of the interrogation. Is there like an inn around here? I just need a bench. That's good enough. Okay, let's have a seat. This account was written down by Master Borislav, scribe to the Archbishop, recording the testimony given by the questioned heretic whereby the interrogation was conducted by the Very Reverend Jan of Osek, Monsignor and Vicar to the Archbishop, and the lawful rite of torture was carried out by the town executioner Francis, called Shanks, in the town jail according to the resolution of the town council. At first the captive heretic, one Peter of Hradec, did refuse to give testimony, whereupon the executioner was instructed to encourage him to do so by the performance of arts. Let it be stated that the interrogated Peter of Hradec did long resist the executioner's persuasions. It's raining on us right now. However, he did finally respond to a query as to the place of assembly of the other heretics known to him, that they did meet in the township of Uzhitz. When the vicar then asked the prisoner to elaborate, that is, who they were and in what house they assembled, Peter of Hradec again fell into silence. The executioner was again obliged to exercise his persuasive art, which in due course the vicar ordered him to desist, for the prisoner was greatly fatigued. Whereupon he did suddenly find his voice and began to respond at length to the repeated query as to where he met with the other heretics. The vicar thereupon decreed that the testimony of the prisoner be written down verbatim. May the Lord forgive me for hearing these heretical speeches, which by my duty to Holy Mother Church I am bound to set down in writing this day. Thus spoke the heretic. I began my pilgrim in Uzhitz, a den of iniquity where the people were drinking and fornicating. So I left that corrupt place at once. And at once I saw another abomination, the temple of the bride of the Antichrist, with the proud Babylonian tower. Could he be referring to the church here? Anyway, I went past it quickly towards the rising sun, so he left the town headed east. That much we know. At least I think so. When I left the village, yeah, so he did leave going east. I came upon a crossroads and didn't know which way to go. So I fell on my knees and prayed. And my prayer was heard, for the finger of Christ rose from the ground to show the right path. So, crossroads as soon as he leaves the village. And some finger of Christ told him which way to go. On I went through this sinful land, and suddenly I heard the sound of a 1,000-headed crowd at work, and I saw their queen and their towers. Interesting. I journeyed further on, and all at once there rose from the ground the jaws of the behemoth, and his broken teeth jutted up into the heavens like the tombstones of the Moabites. So I went through the mouth of the beast, and by the road I saw the abode of the apostles Peter and Andrew. I was hungry, and so I took the fruits of their labors and filled my belly. Then I left their house and saw 2 widows weeping and keening. I wept with them, and they let me sleep in their shadow. Trees, maybe? Like, bent trees, possibly? I went further along the edge of the world, and saw the ribs of the great Leviathan washed up by the sea. Then I saw 2 bridges over the river Jordan, and the devil tempted me and tried to lure me to the one on the right. But I saw through this deception and went against his will. So we see 2 bridges, and either take the left one or take the path to the left. Something to that effect. And then I finally saw it, the gateway to the garden of paradise, abundant with foliage. It was guarded by men of straw, but they saw it was a good Christian, and let me enter therein. So, men of straw, probably like scarecrows, so it's probably on a farm somewhere, or near farm. These were the last words uttered by the heretic Peter of Radzig, for he did then breathe his last. The vicar did then state that his death was surely the work of Lucifer, to silence his tongue before the ears of the servants of God. The executioner thereupon took umbrage and made conceited objections, for which his wage was cut by 3 groschen, and he was admonished not to repeat such remarks, especially in the presence of a servant of Holy Mother Church. The body of the heretic was buried outside the cemetery wall. I don't know why I said buried and not buried, like I normally would. Anyway, as befits, so it should not corrupt hallowed ground. Thereby the case of the heretic Peter of Radzig was brought to a close in accordance with ecclesiastical law. Okay, so one more time on the directions. We head east out of the village. When we leave the village, we come upon a crossroads, and the finger of Christ, I'm air quoting as I say that, should indicate the correct path. And then we see or hear a 1,000-headed crowd, queen and towers. All right, that's probably enough for now. Oh, it stopped raining. We'll have to go on that, and then we can get more details as we go. Okay. Let's try to find this place before the sun sets. It's getting a little late in the evening. So, east. This is like the main road through town, and I assume the temple he was referring to was the church. It's the only thing in this town with a tower, as far as I'm aware. Okay, so we come upon... Is this a crossroads? Well, that's a shrine. Is that the finger of Christ, then? It's coming out of the ground. It's on the left side, so I guess we go left? Because when he said right path, I assume he meant correct path, and not like the literal right path. So on we go. That's coming out of town as well, so I assume we just stay on this. And a beehive. 1,000-headed crowd? Maybe? Beehive. Yeah, bee queens in a tower. And these do look tower-ish, so I think we're on the right track. Then we continue on, and I think these are the teeth of the behemoth, possibly. And he went into the jaws, right? So we go this way. This is an interesting site, so something tells me it's probably a good indication that we're on the right path. Okay, so this is the next crossroads. Could that be the... what did he call it? Let's refer to the book another time here. Okay, so... let's see. Jaws of the Behemoth and his broken teeth jutted up to the heavens. I think he was referring to the broken building. He went through the mouth of the beast, saw the abode of the apostles Peter and Andrew. He was hungry, so he took the fruits of their labors. Then he left their house and saw two widows weeping and keening. Excuse me there. Right. So, could this be the dwellings he was referring to? I would think so. The path dead ends here, though, so he obviously couldn't continue this way. So maybe he kind of took a detour and then came back to the road. Oh, that would have clocked me if it had a clipping plane on it. So if we continue down this path, there are trees. He certainly could have slept in the shadows of them. I don't really see them weeping and keening, but maybe if the wind blew them, they would look different. They're, you know, pretty upright right now. Let's continue on and see if we find anything else that matches the description. Alright, so there is a bridge. Two bridges, in fact. Perfect. So those are the two bridges he was referring to, I assume. And then... I think he said the devil tempted him to go right, but he went left. Let's see. Two bridges over the River Jordan. And then the devil tempted me and tried to lure me to the one on the right, but I saw through his deception and went against his will, so presumably left. Then he saw the gateway to the Garden of Paradise. Okay, so we go left. And that leads me across this bridge. Interestingly, unless there's a different crossroad somewhere, but let's stick to this for now. We can always double back. I'm looking for Men of Straw. Could it be this in here? Is there Men of Straw in here? Are we getting into the forest? We're getting into the forest. Let's double back a bit. Because that's like the edge of the map. I think we've gone too far. This is like farmland. Do I see any Men of Straw here? I mean, he could have been referring to these piles themselves. I just assumed he meant like a scarecrow. But these guys are kind of guarding a path, aren't they? Alright, in here. Is this the Garden of Eden?
It seems I found it.
Okay, well, that worked out. Anything here? Anything of note? Ah, what is this?
A cross, nicely carved. Someone in the village might recognize it.
Okay, anything else here? Some candles. So clearly this is a place of worship. I mean, if the cross wasn't evidence enough. Oh, and what do we have here? Well, nobody's gonna mind. Oh, Master Thief. Some Groshen and some wool fabric. I'll take the Groshen, I guess. I don't need wool fabric. Alright, so back to town to see if anybody recognizes this cross. Okay, so we're back. Let's see if Godwin might recognize this thing. Otherwise, we will check with, like, the innkeeper, possibly.
Father, I wonder if you could tell me whose cross this is.
I do know, but I'm not sure I can tell you.
I don't understand. Why not?
People said they saw you talking with a vicar. They're afraid that Sir Hanush sent you here to help him.
Well, that is basically true.
Jesus Christ, Hal, are you insane? To get involved with a man like that?
Sir Hanush sent me to find out what he wants, and to get him out of here if possible.
Well, then we share the same interest. But I'd still prefer it to end with nobody burned at the stake.
You and me both.
That's good to hear. Where did you find the cross?
Let's do a deal. I'll tell you where I found it, and you tell me whose it is.
Very well. Tell me.
I found it in the woods. It looked like people met there. There were other things, candles, a cloth, and so on.
Damn it. That really does seem like...
That the vicar is right to be looking here. Surprised me, too. So whose is it?
The cross is definitely the Bowers, I remember that. But that just can't be. I can't believe it. If they really are heretics, though...
What do you want to do?
I don't know. But I'll do anything in my power to prevent a heretic witch hunt taking hold here.
I see. It wouldn't make Sir Hanush too happy either.
My thoughts exactly. But the question still remains what to do about it. The vicar won't give up till he's found what he wants. You know what, boy? Before we do anything else, we ought to make sure whether there really are heretics here.
What do you propose?
That's simple. Listen to how they say their prayers.
What good will that do us?
Prayers are sacred to all Christians, heretic or devotee. But if they are heretics, they're bound to pray differently.
And how will I know there's something wrong with their prayers?
Don't you know how true Christians pray?
I suppose so. But how can I listen to their private prayers? I don't suppose they'll be praying that way in the church.
Certainly not. In the church they'd pray the usual way. But at home it's a different matter entirely. I know they meet at the farm in the evening with all the domestics. They'll surely be praying then.
All right, but how can I listen in?
I don't know. Crouch beneath the window? Climb up in the loft? That way you'll be sure to hear everything said in the main room.
What do you know about the Bowers?
When I think about it now, they're a little peculiar.
What do you mean?
Well, they do rather keep themselves to themselves. They attend Mass, true enough. They leave the moment it's over. And I've never seen them at a dance or a celebration of any kind. But on the other hand, they give more alms to the needy in the village than anyone. I can't deny them that.
Where did those Bower folk come from?
I don't really know. I've never spoken to them much, but they've not been here long, only 2 or 3 years.
And the cross? Did you consecrate that for the Bowers themselves?
No. It belonged to the family who lived on the farm before them. That was quite a sad story.
Right, I'll get on with it.
Okay, well, that was very helpful, so let's head out to their farm and try to sneak a peek about what they're sort of praying. Alright, so here we are at the Walden's farm. Let's do our best not to be spotted. And we'll kind of just circle the perimeter. Ooh, that music changed, though. So this is their house. That was like their work shed, I guess. Oh, that'll work. Yeah, let's hop the fence right here. Oh, come on. Ooh, private area. Okay. Well, we'll use the ladder to get topside, and we can spy on them as they eat their dinner.
Ah, I could try listening from here.
That you could.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Bless us, O Lord, and these thy gifts which we are bound to receive from thy bounty. Through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. They took old Wenzel to the presbytery today. His farm is nearby. It's only a matter of time
before they come for me. I know.
And what are we going to do about it? That vicar is baying for blood, the beast. He will devour you alive.
I do not intend to do anything about it. I shall not waver from my faith, nor turn my back on it.
My dear, what on earth are you saying?
If they come for me, I will go quietly. And I will not lie.
Are you serious? Don't you know what they'll do to you?
I can well imagine. But I am resolved.
The Lord have mercy.
Do not fear. I surrender to God's will. And I do not condemn you if you decide to leave.
I'll stay by your side, although I'd rather that you decided otherwise.
I know. And you have no fear, my brothers in Christ. Stay true to God's plan, as I shall. Go and spread the true faith amongst all good folk.
I'm sorry, I wish there was another way.
You should eat your supper and depart right away. Who knows? He may come for us at dawn.
So, I went to check on the Bower farm, and I don't have good news.
Do tell.
They most certainly are heretics, at least as far as I can tell.
Are you sure? What did you hear?
They're afraid the vicar will be coming after them.
Who wouldn't fear that? That swine finds fault with everyone.
Well, it's not like you'd have to try too hard. Mrs. Bower plans to confess everything.
Confess what, exactly?
Most likely her faith. The people of the farm were trying to discourage that, but her mind's made up.
Oh, good lord, that's all I need. What am I to do?
I don't know, but we have to help them.
You're quite right. You have to talk them out of it, Hal. You must convince them to run.
Convince them? That's easy for you to say. You haven't heard her talking.
I'm sure you'll find a way. You have to try at least. For their own good and for yours, Hal.
You're right. Someone has to help them.
I'm glad you see it that way. Now hurry. You never know when the vicar might come for them.
Okay, so here we are at the Walden's farm. Now, Bard potions are going to be our best friend here. Luckily, I have a couple. And we'll need to remember to appeal to her faith, because she doesn't seem to be too concerned about the consequences of what's going to happen here. She's very resolute in that regard, so I think we definitely need to focus on try to convincing her from like a perspective of faith. So let's take that Bard potion. Oh, I only have one. Oh, well, I only need one, so let's eat it. My speech is up to 18, so hopefully hers isn't too high.
Mistress Bower?
What is it you need?
I've come to ask something of you.
Have you? And just who are you, young man?
I know this will sound like madness, but I'm one of the vicar's men.
Oh, I see. So it's the devil who sent you. In that case, my time is up. Don't worry. I'll come quietly.
No. No, that's not how it is.
So, what is it you want?
I want to ask you not to confess to the vicar. Just take your husband and get out of here while there's still time.
I have no idea why you're so taken with my fate, or how you found out about my intentions, but I'll tell you one thing. Changing my mind is out of the question. I won't betray my faith, nor my brothers in Christ.
But now you've got a chance to escape. Surely you won't throw it away.
I won't oppose God's will for me.
For heaven's sake, woman! If it were God's will you should burn, it would have happened a long time ago.
You can't know that.
And don't you think the investigation is dragging on a bit? Do you think nobody in the village speaks badly of you? Don't fool yourself. Those old people from the farm who keep to themselves, they're ripe for denouncing, aren't they? And yet nobody's come to arrest you so far. It may just be that God is giving you time to get away.
You may be right, but I can't lie. It's against all my teaching.
You won't have to lie if you're never asked any questions. Just leave. You can preach elsewhere. I'm sure you have lots of friends who'd love to take you in.
But I don't want to run.
No one wants to run away, but sometimes we have no choice. If you run, your faith will live on. That must mean something.
You're right. I shouldn't give in so easily. I've just grown so weary of the endless persecution.
You should pack up and run away as soon as you can. The vicar might get here any minute.
Thank you.
Don't delay.
Whew, I'm glad we pulled that off, because our persuasion or speech skill was equal with hers, so if we chose any other option, we would not have succeeded. Anyway, let's go tell Godwin how that went, and then we can report to the vicar and let him know that if there were any heretics here, they've fled for greener pastures, apparently.
I found them, Monsignor.
Pardon me?
I found the heretics.
Really? And who are they?
The Bauer family and their entire household.
Well, I expect you to give me some evidence. In the last few days, I've been hearing how practically everyone here is a heretic.
I found that place the captive heretic talked about, and I found a family cross there. It took a bit of asking around, but I learned it belongs to the Bauers. Their farm isn't far from here, to the north. And then all I had to do was go there and do a little spying.
What of it? What did you hear?
Nothing at all. The farm was deserted, not a living soul anywhere.
Ha! They fled. So they are heretics.
What will you do, Monsignor?
It's not the first time the devil's spawn has fled from me. I'll do the same as always. Track them down and capture them. Don't worry, they won't get far. Thank you for your help. You may leave.
Alright, well that went well. So, I think it's time to return to Sir Hanush and let him know that not only are the heretics gone, but the vicar will be gone right behind them soon enough.
The Lord be praised. What brings you to me?
It's all sorted out, sir. You've no need to worry about the vicar anymore.
Excellent. Some good news at last. I've heard some pretty wild rumors from Uzhitz. So what happened there exactly?
Maybe this will surprise you, sir, but there really were heretics in Uzhitz.
Are you telling me the vicar didn't come to stick his nose in my possessions?
I don't know about that, but he definitely suspected there were heretics hereabouts, and he was right.
Christ, a man doesn't expect that sort of thing in his own fiefdom. Did you catch them?
No, they ran away. The vicar's investigation wasn't exactly low-key. Anyway, they've definitely fled beyond your estate.
Well, that's at least something. And the vicar?
He's probably hot on their heels.
Well, I hope he doesn't come back. Anyway, Henry, thanks for dealing with that vicar. You pulled a thorn from my side. Here's a little token of my gratitude.
Thank you, sir.
Alright, so our reward is St. Michael's sword, which is a unique sword. Let's take a look at it. Right, so we are using, where is it, Piercer right now? It's going to do, well, minimum strength is 7, 66 stab damage, 39 slash damage, 3 blunt, and 98 defense. Oh, and 10 charisma, I guess, is worth mentioning. So, St. Michael's sword, 9 minimum strength, but I think I'm at max strength now, so it's kind of irrelevant. 58 damage, stab or slash, so this is a really well-balanced weapon. 109 defense, so it'll be easier to parry with this, and it has 16 charisma. So this is pretty much a upgrade across the board with the exception of stab damage, but we're getting so much extra slash damage at the cost of only 8 stab damage. It's definitely worth it. So this is going to be my new primary weapon. It does look really cool too. If we head to the blacksmith, I can show you guys a little bit more of it, but you can see the pommel there is quite ornate. And if we run over here and take it out, you guys can get a better look at it. So there it is. I think it's pretty cool looking, all things considered. And somebody was actually asking me to show how to do this, so I'll do a quick run even though this sword is already fully sharp. So what I always do is I start tapping spacebar to get this thing rolling a bit, and then just do a slight scroll up on the wheel until you see sparks, like so. And try to keep it like right about there. So make sure you're sharpening like the edge and not, you know, like digging the edge on it flat like that. If you see smoke, you're doing it wrong. So If there's smoke coming out, adjust the angles, maybe lighten up the pressure a bit. But we're not going to get anywhere sharpening a perfectly sharp blade, so... There we go, there's our new sword. I might keep Piercer around just in case, but I have been carrying a spare longsword on my horse just in case. I have Fear Not here, picked up off a bandit. That's similar, it's just a sort of a worse version of the sword we have now. So, I don't know, I'll maybe keep them both. I'll throw Piercer in a chest or something, but I always keep an extra longsword on me, just in case the one I'm using gets dulled and I find myself, you know, needing to jump into combat without being able to get back and repair stuff. Anyway, with that taken care of, let's head to MacLeod, where hopefully the cure has taken effect and everybody is healthy again, or at least on the mend. Oh, damn. Okay. We got bandits here. Fighting, looks like Townbird Guard. I'm not really armed for combat. So, I'm gonna be as cautious as I can. Are you running away? Oh god, there are two of them on me. Oh no, one of the guards is down. Why is my thrust not, like, working? Okay, ouch. This is not good. I'm not in, like, any armor.
Gone weak at the knees, have you?
I'll need to be, like, extra defensive. Quick, quick, follow.
Lost your wind.
Ooh, that was very, very close.
You've got to be kidding.
Oh, somebody's stabbing at me. Hey, you.
You'll get what for.
Oh, is that guard fleeing? You bastard. I tried to help you. Okay, that guy's done. Who just hit my horse? Why would anyone do such a thing? Back away, back away. This guy is very heavily armored.
Don't think you can
and I'm
fight.
Sitting in here in a gambeson and a coat. Oh, there we go. Well, luckily my swordsman skills were up to the task, because otherwise I was in a pretty dangerous predicament there. God, I can't believe that guard just bailed. Well, at least my horse isn't dead. There's still somebody wandering around, because it's still considering us in combat, but whatever.
How's it looking, Melikar?
I'm glad to see you, Henry. I'd like to thank you again. Everyone is cured. It's nothing short of a miracle.
Oh, that's a relief. You've suffered enough. We've all suffered enough.
God's truth. You know, the folk here are truly grateful. They'd have you and Nicodemus canonized if they could. They brought me gifts for the two of you. I wasn't keen on the idea at first. We're not left with much since the livestock died. But since you're here...
No. I can't possibly accept that. Give it all back, Melikar. With my thanks.
That's kind of you. I'm glad you appreciate our situation. Things are tough, all right.
I understand. I'm just glad everything turned out well.
So am I, lad. So am I. Good luck.
Alright, here we are at the shed. Let's talk to our bandit friend. Assuming he's still alive and feeling up to it.
Welcome back to the land of the living.
Who are you?
My name is Henry, and I'm investigating on behalf of Sir Radzig Kobyla.
Oh, I see. You'll have an easy job with me, boy.
How so?
I won't give you any problems.
That's sensible of you.
I'm a sensible man. Only I'd like to get it over quick, and not keep the Rattay executioner busy too long, if you catch my drift.
I understand.
What do you want to know?
Everything. First, tell me who's behind all this. Who do you follow?
I follow the coin, lad. We all do.
That's not news to me, but who pays the coin?
I got my pay from Runt, like all the men in Pribyslavitz. And Runt got his money from the chief, and the chief had the coin minted.
Who's the chief? The bandit leader?
bandit. If he heard you say that, he'd have your head on a spike. That's the kind of man he is. Nobody knows much about him, though. Only that he ain't Czech.
So he's a foreigner? German?
Don't think so. For sure he ain't Czech. And he's got plenty of coin. I'd stake my neck on it. He's got noble blood in his veins.
Judging by how he looks?
More by the way he talks. Any man can dress up like nobility, but he spoke all la-di-da, like a lord.
Where's that chief of yours now?
I've no idea. After Privislovitz, he ordered us to raid Merhoyet, but he wasn't with us. He went off who knows where. I don't reckon he'll be out of your hair for long, though.
How did you know about Privislovitz? Who took you there?
A fellow by the name of Moorcock. We met near Kuttenberg. I was robbing burghers who were fleeing the town from Sigismund's army. We got to talking and he told me about Privislovitz.
Why did you attack Merhoyet?
The chief himself gave us the order. I reckon he wanted to show the local lords he was nowhere near finished.
So he's planning more raids?
The chief's always planning something. Privislovitz was only the start.
So the chief is in command of all these operations?
You could say. I'd say you're looking at it all wrong, though.
How's that?
You ask who's in charge and who answers to who. Only this ain't some noble court. There was all sorts of gangs in Privislovitz, big and small. Robber barons who had their own brigades calling them my lord, and common footpads who hadn't a pot to piss in. Men came, men went. Lots of squabbles, the occasional murder. Old cronies and old rivals were meeting. Know what I mean?
I suppose so.
It was one big muddle. The main thing was nobody asked questions. I didn't give a damn who the chief was or what he had in mind, or whether he had one ball or two. All I was interested in was the coin.
Uh-huh. So you knew the coin was counterfeit?
Course I did. I brought those groschen to Privislovitz, along with a few other things.
Did you? And where did the forgeries come from?
Like, where were they made? I don't know. Some merchant by the name of Menhart gave them to me. We used to meet at the charcoal piles near Rovna, by the crossroads there. As it happens, I'm supposed to be meeting him there about now.
So Menhart's waiting there?
Might be, might not. He could have heard what happened in Privislovitz and decided not to show.
And does this Menhart know where the coin comes from?
How should I know? To me, he's just another link in the chain. I deal with him, and I never ask who he deals with. Just like he knows nothing about me.
I see. So I suppose there's no point asking you if you know any more about him.
It'd be a waste of breath. All he did was give me the coin, and then we went our separate ways.
Who else knows about the money?
Apart from the chief, Menhart, Runt, and me, there was a few others. The men got some real money too, with the false stuff. It'd be suspicious if they only had freshly minted coin.
You said you used to bring other things. What were they?
Letters. Menhart would give them to me for the chief. This time I was taking an answer back to Menhart too.
What were the letters about?
If I knew how to read, I wouldn't be trusted to carry letters, would I? I took them from Menhart to the chief and back. That's all.
Have you still got that letter?
Aye. The yokels round here ain't got much interest in correspondence, apparently.
Give it to me then.
I'd be delighted.
That's all I need to know for now.
For now, for the love of Christ, boy, don't let the executioner interrogate me. I already told you everything I know.
That's for Sir Radzig to judge.
Henry, I think old Straw's come for the brigand. Step back from that Eden, young fella.
But you can't kill me. Not just like that.
Shut the fuck up, you weasel, and keep it fucking shut. You don't even get a say. Calm down, Straw. He won't escape justice. After all, he's... Don't stand in my way, Melikar. Let Henry decide. He's the one who saved his life.
Let's talk about it.
To hell with that. That horse'll kill my boy. He won't leave Merhead alive.
Listen to me, Straw. That isn't going to help anyone. You're a decent man, not a killer. Think of your wife.
And where's the justice in that? My boy cut down in his youth. Didn't even have a chance to marry. And that cutthroat swine left walking the earth.
Don't worry, he won't escape justice. Surely you don't think Sir Radzig will just let him go?
What's Sir Radzig to me? You won't even let me avenge the death of my own son? Take him then. Take him and leave me with nothing but my grief.
I promise you he'll suffer for what he did.
Be quiet and go quickly, before I change my mind.
Alright, let's take him back to town. Okay, so we've delivered him to the dungeons here in Rattay, and so now I think we'll call it an episode, but in the next episode we'll need to go report to Sir Radzig and let him know what we've discovered so far. And then I think we should probably hurry to see if we can meet this merchant Menhart, because the bandit did say he should be meeting him fairly soon, and we don't want to potentially miss that opportunity. So with that, thank you guys so much for watching. I had a great time playing some Kingdom Come Deliverance with you, and I look forward to seeing you guys back here for the next episode.